Good evening, everyone. We are about to go live here in a moment. And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rocknar's LolCow Ranch. And tonight we are presenting an exclusive interview with Galina's father. And we have Galina's father with us live right now. I apologize for the lateness of the stream. We had to do this right now. Otherwise, we would never have gotten this exclusive interview with Galina's father. Hello, Galina's father. Come in. Are you there, sir? Hello, Galina's father. Come in. Are you there? It seems we might have some technical issues with this connection here. It's a very, it's a very long
All
distance
right,
connection. Ah,
I was
ah,
muted.
good. Good. Is it afternoon where you are, sir?
Yes, it's very afternoon.
I see. Thank you for joining us here, Galina's father. Now, sir, we never got your name, sir. What is your name?
Galina's father.
I I see. I see. Okay. Well, then Galina's father, I want to go right into this. This is very important. We have some videos from your daughter's fiance, James Robert Clark III. Have you seen these videos, sir?
I'm familiar with this man.
You are familiar. Okay, so there are some videos, and I was going to go ahead and play one for them right now, and we'll go ahead and play this right now for everyone.
So I'm going to make this here video for Galina's father. And why am I making this video for Galina's father? What I want you to know is your daughter obviously has fallen in love with me and obviously wants to be with me, and she is going to be with me, and that's her choice. She's an adult. I understand that you grounded her for talking to me or for
I yes. Is he correct, sir? Did you ground Galina for talking for her talking to James?
Hey,
Yeah,
it's not grounding.
it's not grounding. I see. It's not grounding. Okay. Then how would you define this then?
I I just tell her get away from that man.
Ah, that's very okay. That's very direct. Okay, let's continue with this video.
whatever these people told you about me. But ultimately, regardless, I'm telling you right now, whatever they told you isn't true, and I can verify that it isn't true. But more importantly, what you need to understand is that your daughter is an adult. She is a 21-year-old adult girl. Okay?
Is he correct about that? Is your daughter 21 years of age?
Yes.
I see. Okay, I'll continue with the video.
Okay, she's an adult woman. She will make her own decisions, and her decision is to be with me, obviously. The problem is, I have a feeling that what's impeding her from giving me proof that she is who she says she is you. I think that you're impeding her because you're distrusting of everyone and everything, probably.
Is James correct about this? Are you distrusting of everyone and everything?
I'm especially distrusting of this man.
I see. And why are you distrusting of this man?
He,
Is
he's
there
things to my daughter.
some things? What was that? He did what with your daughter, sir?
He sent her he sent her the
He sent her what? Oh my goodness. Is it? Oh, it's that serious, huh? Okay. Well, I do apologize for that, sir. I know that this is very frustrating and it's and scary for you, and we're gonna make sure that James does not bother your daughter here. So let's continue with this video.
You won't allow her to give me the proper material that I need to prove that she is who she is.
Oh, now I assume that you won't allow Galina to send a photograph to James. Is this correct?
and she's
Now, does Galina does Galina understand that talking to this man is a little bit dangerous?
I I tried to tell her.
I see. And I can understand as that every parent, tries to protect their children from the evils of the world. So let's continue.
And the fact is, sir, that, regardless, she will be with me if she wants to be with me. That's the truth. There's nothing going to stop her from being with me if she wants to be with me. You can't legally stop her, and that's...
And can you legally stop her?
No.
No.
No, I cannot.
Yes. Well, I mean, yes, I mean, he is correct that your daughter is 21 years of age and she is free to make her own decisions because she is an adult, but it's up to her then. So let's go ahead and continue.
it. I mean, and if she can't come to me, I can go there. I mean, the two adults obeying the law, there's nothing that can stop us, okay? My point is that you grounded her like a little girl, okay?
Well, I think that there was a very important reason why you're restricting his access to your daughter. It's not grounding after all. He didn't, you're not just, this is not like you're the father of a little girl. Galina is free to make her own decisions, correct?
Yes.
But, she understands that, hey, she needs to break off contact with him, and she probably agrees with you on that.
Yes.
I see. Okay, I'll continue the video.
Okay? For, I don't even know what, I wasn't there. I understand the whole partying thing, and look, that was me overreacting to some stuff. Again, because I don't know what's going on. I don't have a full understanding of what's going on, and I think primarily this is because of you, not her. Ultimately, she will be with me. Look, I've taken other people's daughters from them in the past. She's not going to be or she's not the first one, and who knows, she might not be the last one, although I do plan on being with her forever. Who knows, I might be taking somebody else's daughter from them in a few years.
Wow, I'm sorry, I had to let you hear the whole statement here so that we could get this all in context. James Robert Clark has just said that he would be with your daughter until he wants to be with somebody else. How does that make you feel, sir, as the father? I can hear you're very frustrated. It would be frustrating to me also if that were my daughter and James Robert Clark were to come up to my daughter and say, you'll be with me until I want to be with somebody else. I think that would break my little girl's heart. I couldn't stand that. Well,
I don't get this man.
I don't like this
Why?
man. Why? Why, James? Why would you break a little girl's heart like that?
He does this.
He does
He
this.
sends these creepy emails to my daughter, and
He sends creepy
and
emails.
he says that she is not good enough for him.
That your daughter's not good enough? Oh my god. Oh my god. This is stunning. What I almost don't want to play the rest of this video because of
We need the rest of the video.
we do need rest of video. Yes.
The point is, although I don't plan on it, I plan on Galina being my wife forever. My point is what's impeding her ability to have me trust her properly is probably you, sir. And that's not right. She has chosen to be with me. She'll be with me. The only person you're making this difficult on is her, not me.
Are you making this difficult on your daughter, sir? I think that James might be confusing.
How I make this difficult is she lives on a different continent.
Well, yes. I mean, he's in North America, and she's all the way in Europe. So yeah, I mean, let's.
I cannot make this any more difficult. I don't understand this man.
I don't understand this man either. Why he would want to pursue a relationship with someone thousands of miles away. It just
Oh, he does not want to pursue. It's just he is just being a child.
he is. Yes, it does seem like he is being a child, and I my heart goes out to you, sir, and to your daughter for what this man has put you through, for what this man has put your family through, and this is not right. This man should not be putting your family through such pain.
Okay? You're not making anything difficult on me. You're making it difficult on her. You should have enough respect for her that she can trust herself. Okay? That's what you should do. You should have the ability to have her trust herself enough that she can trust me. Because I can tell you one thing, sir, I don't lie. Despite how bad everything might look, I don't lie.
Do you believe him, sir, when he says he does not lie?
He lies in this video.
Yes, yes, you are correct, sir. We've already established that yes, he has lied in this video.
So you can think whatever you'd like, but the fact of the matter is, look, all I want is proof that she's who she is and that she communicates with me openly and honestly, and I have a feeling that you're a reason that she can't communicate with me openly and honestly. Look, I understand you're from the Soviet Union and all this other crap, and you believe this way and you believe that way, and everybody's out to get everybody and da-da-da-da-da. And to an extent that's true, but the fact of the matter is I'm not out to get her and she's not out to get me.
Do you believe him, sir, when he says he is not out to get her?
How could he?
How could he? Yes, he can't. Yes, he would need to go thousands of miles to even come close to you, and you're not even going to allow this man to come near your daughter, are you?
I would not, but something tells me that I would not have to. That he would come over here with barely any money, and the police would simply empty his pockets and send him on his way back.
Yes, and that's something in one of the other videos I'm going to play for you in a little bit here, is that he suggested that Galina was threatened by you, that she should call the police. I'm sorry. It sounded like a little bit like you were laughing at that. So you know, when James said that Galina should call the police, then does that mean that the police are just not going to be are just going to ignore the situation on that?
Police are old buddies from
I
my
see.
days as conscript.
I see. So yes, yeah. So you're friends with the police anyway. So that makes sense. It does. Yes. Okay. Well, let's continue with this video.
I don't want anything from her. I already told her flat out I would sign prenuptial agreements so I can't get any of her money. Okay? I don't want her money. I want her. Okay? That's what I want. I want your daughter as my wife. And I don't need your permission for that. She is 21 years old, and she doesn't need your permission for that. She is 21 years old, and she can do what she wants. So I would appreciate you letting her communicate with me like an adult. She is not a child, she's an adult.
And yes, he is correct that your daughter is an adult.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay? Keep that in mind. You can't ground an adult. She's 21 years old. Whether she lives with you or not, she's not a prisoner. She's your daughter. Let her communicate with me freely, like a free person. Okay? This isn't Soviet Russia. That's all for this video.
That was a very enlightening video, and we're going to go straight to this next video that James put out today.
So I'm going to make this video very clear. You know, everybody was wondering who the elderly man was that was being harassed. Well, it's Galina's father.
Are you being harassed, sir?
I'm not being harassed. I am also not elderly man.
I see. Okay, so James is wrong on both of those. Okay.
Okay? Flat out, it's Galina's father. And, yeah, it's not freaking cool to be harassing an elderly man to get at me. Okay? Now, this is the thing. You want to frickin' try and say, oh, do this and we'll not do this anymore. Well, my fiance got a call from Jeff Vader. Jeff Vader is one of the many trolls that work for Daywave.
Did your daughter get a call from Jeff Vader, sir? Galina's father, did your daughter receive a call from Jeff Vader?
Why?
I'm not sure.
I don't know why he is so worried about this Jeff Vader.
I I'm certainly not worried about Jeff Vader. Jeff Vader, doesn't worry me in the slightest. So
Telling her that she needs to tell me to unblock all of you. I've unblocked some of you. I've unblocked Adonis Paul on some of his accounts, and I've unblocked Hatman on one of his accounts, I believe his main account. And the reason why is they've begun to understand that, they can treat me with respect. Okay? That's about what it boils down to. The second they stop treating me with respect, the second they get blocked again. What's actually sad about the whole situation, now I want everybody to be clear, poor Galina, now this is what people don't understand. Galina is 21 years old. Okay? She's 21 years old. She is not emotionally mature enough, really not any woman is emotionally mature enough to deal with this kind of stalking and harassment.
is your daughter capable of dealing with this stalking and harassment? It can because it seems like James has been wrong about everything else.
Yes, her mother and I have tried very hard to maybe not hard enough.
I see. It's you can never try hard enough. And there's always someone like this waiting.
No woman is. Okay? But she is 21 years old. Okay? And then people are like, well, if she's so immature, why are you trying to bang her? Well, let me see. She's 21 years old. She's of consensual age. That's why. Okay? Now, she didn't want me to make this video because she thought it would make things worse. The only thing that has ever made anything worse with this situation is conceding to you retards.
Now, is he correct when Galina said to not make this video because it would only make things worse?
Yes, I tell her to tell him.
I see. So he understood that yes, this video would make things worse.
That's the only thing that has ever made anything worse. And being that she is going to be my wife, she needs to start understanding that she needs to start letting me do what I'm going to do that's in her best interest. So she was worried that it would make things worse if I called you out. So Jeff Vader, he's English from England, from UK. Yes, England, from England. He was one of the first people to get on my case over Eliana. Okay? Oh, that's right, I mentioned her name. Let's see. Oh, what's going to happen now? I mentioned her name. I didn't keep her name out my mouth.
I see that he's brought up a previous girl that he knows, an Eliana. Are you familiar with this woman named Eliana?
I'm not. I don't keep up with these things. I just try to do what is in the best interest of my daughter.
Did Galina say anything about Eliana? Maybe just in passing. Maybe that he keeps bringing this up or something like that.
I try to tell her, don't not associate with that kind of man.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that here.
Out my mouth. I didn't keep a name out my mouth. Well, you motherfuckers, you go and harass an elderly man over me to get at me. You're going to harass a 21-year-old girl, stalk a 21-year-old girl, hack her accounts to get her phone number, to call her, to intimidate her into getting me to unblock you people. And you expect me, I'm the bad guy, right? I'm the bad guy for reaching out to my friend with compassion, with concern, with love. That's what I did. You people are just flat out cyber stalking people. That is what cyber stalking is, what you people are doing. Okay? And that's the truth. That's the truth. And no, I'm not unblocking anybody that doesn't deserve to be unblocked. Yeah, I spent the other night in Adonis Paul's live stream. I'm actually growing to like Mersh and Adonis Paul and even Hatman. One of the things I like about Hatman, he's had some raunchy-ass people on his show, but the one thing I like about Hatman, he has, now I don't know if any of these people have kids, and that might be why they actually are not being complete filthy scum like Royce. I think some of these people do have kids and they understand where I'm coming from with this. Look.
Well, you have kids, do you not? I mean, it's obvious you're Galina's father.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, certainly when you were a child and your parents brought you up, this, it wasn't, as crazy as it was today for kids. No.
The thing with Hatman is, as bad as Hatman has been to try and get me to mention him on my I wouldn't say my show, on my videos, I should say. I don't have a show, but
would you say that Mr. Clark has a show now?
He makes so many videos. I would almost say that he is a public person.
Yes, if he puts himself in the public eye, yes, it does seem that yes, he has become his own show.
What people need to know, he's been respectful of Galina and Eliana. That's all I ask, is people be respectful of these two women. Okay? Something that
has, for the most part, is he right? Are people being respectful towards your daughter?
Everyone except him.
Everyone except him. That does make sense.
Royce is incapable of doing. Mersh has not been very respectful of Galina or Eliana, but Mersh has been respectful of me.
Has Mersh been respectful towards your daughter, sir?
He does not send her harassing communication, so
I would say yes.
Say everyone else except James.
Fair enough, yes.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Mersh has been respectful of me. Mersh has reached out to me with concern. And, he's a decent dude. I really think Mersh is a decent dude, at least when it comes to me. I think he has issues with other people. What's really crazy is some of these people I could see myself hanging out with, having a beer with, like Hatman. I could probably see myself having a beer with Hatman. I really could.
Would you share a beer with this man? Seems a hard question, though, I imagine.
I would have to think twice about it.
I would think twice about it too, and I would probably want to make sure that I was the one opening the bottle in this case.
Go to the local pub and have a pint. You know what I mean? I could actually see myself doing that. Not supposed to drink alcohol, but if I could drink alcohol, I could see myself doing that with Hatman. Okay? My point is not all these people are bad people, but for whatever reason, certain members of this little clique of people have some sort of personal vendetta against me. If you're going to the trouble of hacking somebody's accounts to the point where you're finding their phone number to harass them in a foreign country, and I won't mention the foreign country because I'm not going to do that to her, but the fact of the matter is, if you're harassing her, you know where she lives, and it's just not fucking right. It's not right to cyber stalk and harass a 21-year-old girl that is not involved in this in any way. Any way she's not involved in this. And you can go, oh, well, you cyber stalked Eliana. You cyber stalked Eliana. I was trying to reopen communication with a girl that for no reason stopped communication with me. And I'm starting to think the reason she stopped it has to do with you assholes. Because right before she stopped talking to me, she started sounding like these other kooks on here about how Freemasons were coming to get her and the Illuminati was coming to get her and there's a Freemason conspiracy and all this crap. Now, I already know, and I'm going to get all the targeted individuals mad when I say this, I know all about Freemasonry. I've had family involved in Freemasonry, not direct.
What is your opinion of Freemasonry, sir?
Overpriced beer.
I see, yes, so overpriced beer. That's a very good way of putting it, so.
Not direct family, but past family. I am not against Freemasonry, okay? These people are not Freemasons. At the time that they started harassing me years ago and up until recently, like right now basically, I was swamped by people pretending to be Freemasons. Now, what people need to know is they get photos of people that are Freemasons and use them as their profile pictures. Furthermore, you can buy Masonic regalia quite easily through the mail, through the internet, and at Masonic stores.
Has your daughter been contacted by any Freemasons, sir?
No, this is not a big thing here.
No, I wouldn't think that Freemasons would be, so.
You do not have to be a Freemason to wear Masonic regalia. Another thing is, there are Masonic groups that are not Masonic. They are not part of the regular order of Freemasonry, or even any of the irregular orders of Freemasonry. Another thing that people need to know is regular Masons only occur in Great Britain and the Americas. So Great Britain, Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Okay? Outside of that, there are no regular Masons. These are irregular Masons. These are Masons that do not follow the rules of Freemasonry.
Now, Mr. Clark has seemed to develop this irrational fear of Freemasonry, which you've already established isn't that big in your country, correct?
Correct.
Right.
One of the rules of Freemasonry is that you must believe in a creator. Every Freemason I've ever met is a devout believer in God. Every Freemason that I've met is a Christian. I've met one that's a Catholic, which is very rare because Catholicism is against Freemasonry, but the majority of the Freemasons that I have met are either mainline Protestant, which is the majority of them, or some type of kooky, born-again, woohoo Christian. Okay? So it is not the Freemasons behind this. Doesn't mean that none of them are Freemasons. There's bad people everywhere. But I would be very doubtful that anybody involved in this is actually a Freemason. They're just douchebags on the internet. Now, one of the things that I want to explain to people is, and I'm going to leave a link to the video in the description. I've left it twice on my community tab. People need to learn to attack the attacker. This is something that L. Ron Hubbard came up with. Look, these people that are attacking us are far worse than us as targeted individuals, okay? We didn't do half the crap they're saying. Most of us didn't do any of it. So you need to attack back, and and by attack, I don't mean the use of physical violence. I mean the use of information, and I mean the use of conversation, and I mean the use of diffusion. That's what you need to do. diffuse the situation. Okay? Tora, 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 as the Japanese would like to say.
This is interesting. Mr. Clark has just brought up the 3-word code phrase that was used prior to the December 7th attack on Pearl Harbor. And with it, oh my goodness, with it being so close to December 7th, is Mr. Clark sending a coded message to you, sir? Do you feel that?
No.
No.
No, we fight Japanese before.
Yes, I did. Oh, yeah.
So melodramatic.
Interesting. Yes, and thank you, sir. Yes.
My point is you can't concede to these people. A minor concession, any concession, is a sign of weakness. You concede once and you'll end up like Adrasdia or Mary or whatever they're calling her.
Are you familiar with this Adrasdia?
I'm not. Maybe my daughter watches her.
I see. So your daughter has seen Adrasdia's videos. Okay.
You never concede. Never negotiate with terrorists. Never. And that's what they are. These are cyber terrorists. Never negotiate with terrorists. That's why Jeff Vader, I'm not unblocking any of you people. Ever. Ever. Okay? So don't pull this crap. Don't go harassing some young girl that you don't know. And you know what? She was very angry that you called her cute. So you know what? Don't call my wife cute.
Is he correct when Galina got angry at being called cute?
Only by 40-something morons with bags under their eyes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You British, better not say that. They get really amped if I start using ethnic stuff. But my point is, stay the hell out of her life. Stay the hell out of her life. And if you don't, she's just going to have to learn to block you and attack the attacker. That's what it boils down to. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm telling you this for the last time. Do not play with me. I've tried being nice. I've unblocked Adonis Paul. I've unblocked Hatman. I will not unblock any of these disgusting people that make these disgusting comments about my female friends. And you can go, well, Eliana's not your friend. Eliana likes us talking about her the way we talk about her. You know what? Then you can talk about her the way you want to talk about her. But you ain't going to start talking about my goddamn wife that way. Get it? So if Eliana really likes being talked about like that, that's her own mental health problem that she needs to work through. When I met that girl, Eliana, when I met her online, she was set on the fast track to be the Latina Isaac Newton. Now she's just being sexually harassed every day on some wannabe radio show. And all I gotta do is leave a link to the videos of the show to show how disgusting you people are. And you can go, oh, it's just a joke, it's just a joke, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. It's not a goddamn joke. You don't talk about a young lady's body like that, publicly. You don't do it.
Are they talking about your daughter like this, sir?
She is 21 years old. I do not like this, but this is part of life.
Fair enough.
You don't do it. It's screwed up, man. Really screwed up. Okay? So my friend, or former friend, went from being on the fast track to being the next great scientist to being what? Eye candy for a bunch of perverts? A bunch of fat, smelly perverts at that? Not even good-looking perverts. At least me, I'm a decent-looking pervert.
Would you say that Mr. Clark is decent-looking? I can hear your laughter, sir. I assume that you do not agree with Mr. Clark's statement that he is decent-looking.
He has too high an opinion of himself.
It does seem like he has a very inflated opinion of himself.
Okay? And even I wouldn't take things to that level. I would never say these things to to my former friend. Never. Never. I wouldn't say these things to my wife. I certainly wouldn't say these things to other people's wives. So, stay the hell out of my life. Stay the hell out of her life. By her life, I mean Galina. If you don't stop, there will be problems.
Well, do you have any commentary on where he says there will be problems?
Maybe watch this video back, Jay.
I see. Yes. We should send a link of this interview to James so that he understands. Now there have been some new videos, and I see that he's posted an apology for you, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this right now, and we will be the first to see this. So we will go ahead and watch this video.
I'd like to make a truly heartfelt apology to Galina's father. I'm sorry I lost my temper the way I did. You need to understand, it's hard to understand if if this isn't happening to you, and unfortunately I guess it is happening to you at this point, that these people have now targeted you because your daughter loves me, and that's the reason why. At least I hope she still loves me.
Does your daughter still love James Robert Clark III? Did your daughter ever love James Robert Clark III? Galina's father, are you still there, sir?
I want to say no.
I see. Okay.
Look, I'm sorry that I yelled at you the way I did, and I'm sorry I called you what I called you. Okay, I apologize. And I know that you love Galina a great deal, or you wouldn't have involved yourself the way that you did. But you need to understand that I also love Galina a great deal. It's unfortunate that it's you that's keeping her from sending me the information I need to know she's real. And you might be saying, well, why do you need information that she's real? The reason why is because I'm being told every day, hundreds of times a day, that she's fake. Okay? And I know she's real, and I know that she truly loves me. You can't manufacture love like that. You can't manufacture reactions like that. She loves me. Okay? And I understand that you're mad. I mean, I'm basically 20 years older than the girl. I would be angry if I were you too. I wouldn't want some Anglo-American filling my daughter with his Anglo-American baby batter either. If
I apologize for his vulgarity towards your daughter with such crudeness. And this is in his apology video to you, no less.
Why are you like this, James?
Why are you like this, James?
I was a Slavic dude from Russia, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm apologizing as best I can and as honestly as I can. I'm not going to make anything PG or anything. You might not even know what that means. I'm not going to make anything. I'm not going to censor anything. I talk the way I talk because that's the way I talk. Fuck everyone. That's the bottom line. Galina, what you need to know is we're winning. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are winning. They did the same thing to me and Eliana. The goal is to make me look as crazy as possible by pestering me and sowing seeds of distrust in me towards you. The problem is that it makes me distrusting of you because I have no evidence to the contrary. I know you're who you are. I know that you can't manufacture emotion the way that you have emotion. You love me, and I know that. And the things that you do make too much sense. The time zone you live in makes too much sense. They operate outside that time zone, which would be impossible unless they're on crank like a motherfucker. Anyway,
Mr. Clark has brought up an interesting point about methamphetamine use, and is it a problem in your country?
Any problem in country.
I see, and probably also crocodile is a problem also.
Yes.
Yes.
You need to know that I know who you are. I love you. I know you love me, or at least loved me unless I pushed you away. And you need...
Has James pushed Galina away?
No.
I see.
to know that no matter what, we will prevail if we work together, but we have to work together. I'm very sorry that I said the things I did about your father. I don't understand why a grown man is grounding a grown woman. Okay, it's hard for me to understand. It doesn't compute in my mind because I'm not some kind of Ruski. Okay, it doesn't make sense to an American why a grown man is grounding a grown woman.
Well, I think he's brought up an interesting point, is that your culture is not the same as American culture, correct?
Yes.
And certainly if you're saying to your daughter to not have contact with this man, then that's part of your culture.
This is more part of concern.
Concern, yes. Oh, concern, yes.
I actually had the same problem with Eliana. I can't wrap my head around how a grown man has this much control over their grown daughter. It doesn't compute under the American point of view of what it means to be a grown-up. Okay? It doesn't mean I'm angry. I'm sorry, I am getting a little animated. I am, and I'm sorry about that. It's because they keep pestering me. And I want you to know that regardless of whether I sound angry, I'm not. It's frustration, and I love you no matter what. I will always love you. I would appreciate some proof that you're who you are eventually. Please, just give me some proof before January. I hope to see you in January, and we will make ourselves whole. We will be whole with one another. Our love will make us whole, if you allow it. Do not let these people get between us. Do not allow it. Don't do that. I trust you. I know you're not going to defame me. I just don't want you to allow them to get in between us like they're trying to do. You are stronger than Eliana. You are smarter than Eliana in this regard, and I need you to behave that way. I need you to know that I love you, and I need you to know that I am sorry. I'm extremely sorry for the way I treated your father. I will be better. I promise to be better. It was just pissing me off because it's a cultural thing. I can't grasp how a grown man has this much control over his grown daughter. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's a cultural issue. Okay, it's probably one of many that will come up.
Is he correct? Is this a cultural issue that he feels that you have too much control over your daughter?
He keeps making this a culture thing. It's
a concern thing.
It's a human thing, James.
Yes.
But we will work through everything together as long as we're working together. I love you, honey. You're still my little angel. You're still my little Zarina. And I still love you. Please understand that.
Wow. So we're going to go right to another video that he's putting out.
Galina, I do want you to know I am still very sorry about how I reacted to everything and how I yelled at your father. But what I do want you to know, if you don't want to be with me anymore, and you can put some thought into this, maybe 2 or 3 days, whatever, let me know you don't want to be with me anymore. I still want to be with you very much. I recognize that you love me very much. I want that love. That is very important to me, that somebody loves me the way that you love me. And I know that you love me the way that you love me, or at least loved me. But in the same sense, if you're done with me, I need you to tell me you're done with me. Okay? This ghosting stuff that kids are doing now, I don't understand it. I can't grasp this ghosting stuff.
Is Is your daughter ghosting Mr. Clark?
She is being polite.
That's a very good way of putting it, sir. Yes.
So if you're done with me, I would appreciate the respect of letting me know that you're done with me when you know that you're done with me. So if that's the case, just let me know so that I can respect your wishes and leave you alone. I don't understand ghosting, and I don't want another Eliana situation happening. Although I don't think it will. I'm not going to spend, 3 years in a relationship that doesn't exist. But I do love you very much, and I hope that you still love me enough to know that I need some kind of... I need you to tell me you're done with me. I can't just know that you're done with me. So the ghosting stuff, you can't do that to me. I don't get it. Okay? It's because I'm a million years old. But I do love you. And I hope you take into consideration everything I'm saying. If you're done with me, please have the respect to tell me you're done with me. I love you.
A short video, but you were correct when you were saying your daughter is being polite.
Yes. He is very stubborn.
He is very stubborn, and he's put out more videos, and we'll get to another one.
So Hatman allegedly made a video claiming that he is Galina, which is not exactly what the video said, and I'm going to leave a link in the description. Now, what I find so humorous is let's assume that Hatman was Galina the whole time. If Hatman was Galina, he is the gayest gay dude of all time. To actually be able to manufacture language like that, manufacture emotions like that, manufacture a personality like that, that's absolutely hilarious. I mean, if that really is him, he is by far the gayest gay dude in history. I have a friend that's a post-op transsexual. She is not this feminine. And she has had surgery to become a woman and identifies as a woman, and her proper pronoun, according to the law, is she. And she is not this feminine. And she's very feminine. Okay? So that's my point there. So I have a friend that's a post-op transsexual that's nowhere near this feminine. Now, if it really was Hatman, honestly, that actually makes me feel better because it makes me know that a 21-year-old girl wasn't pulled into something this ridiculous. Although, unfortunately, I don't think it was Hatman, and I do unfortunately think that an innocent 21-year-old girl was pulled into something that she's not emotionally mature to deal with, or emotionally mature enough to deal with. If you think this is going to break me, it's hilarious, because all this does, if this was Hatman, is prove that he's this deeply disturbed. He's this psychologically unwell. He's this deranged. I'm not. But again, unfortunately, I unfortunately think it was a real young lady, and if, Galina, I'm sorry. I really am sorry about this. Now, let's talk about how this isn't going to break me. If the Eliana thing didn't break me, let's see. Eliana is a legitimate superhuman. She is legit to the core, a superhuman. There's nothing fake about Eliana. She is as smart as people should know her to be. She is a genius. She is a brilliant person. She was on the fast track to be the next Isaac Newton, I swear. I swear on that. And she meant more to me than anything for like 7 years. Okay? So if 3 years of a consistent friendship of her and I didn't, 3 years of a consistent friendship and then her abruptly canceling our friendship for no good reason, if that didn't break me, if Eliana didn't break me, some little Russian girl that you guys took advantage of isn't going to break me. And Hatman pretending to be some little Russian girl isn't going to break me. I do feel very sorry for Galina there because I do believe Galina is a real young lady. And I am sorry that she was sucked into this crap by you people. Anyway, that's all for this video. Just remember, I'm unbreakable. You guys are just completely freaking crazy.
Wow, he is very adamant that he loves your daughter, sir.
I, adamant. He.
There is one
Yes.
more one more video. We're going to go right into that. So let's go into this last video that he's put up.
So I am very much relieved that that Hatman was Galina, or Hatman's trolls were Galina, or whatever was going on there. I really can't keep track of the gayness of the whole thing. It's very gay. This is the epitome of gay ops. When a man is pretending to be a 21-year-old girl to seduce a 38-year-old man, this is the epitome of gay ops. But yet, it has a silver lining. And yes, Argentina is named after silver. And yes, what this has shown me is yes, I can schedule my trip to Argentina. And I can go to Buenos Aires. And I can have the tomato pie. You see, the thing is, now that I know Galina, who is the only thing keeping me from going to Argentina with her whining, is not a real person, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about her jealousy of Eliana. I don't have to worry about any of this. I can schedule my flight. I can go to Buenos Aires, and I can enjoy my vegan tomato pie. Mucho deliciosa. That is what it will be. Mucho deliciosa. Muy excelente. Taco. Ya cha. So, while Royce tried to convince me I was banned from Argentina, breaking the law, I might add, you're not allowed to do that, I will be going to Argentina. I will not be seeing Eliana, though. I will not be seeing Eliana. But all that crap was fake. I know that from contacting the consulate and the consulate getting back to me with the truth. All lies. So the Galina thing shows that you can't trust these people worth a crap, right? But people do. People believe the things they say about me, but it's all false. It's all fallacious. So my point is that these people are predators. They are stalkers. They are not very mentally well people, of course. And the funny thing is, like Hatman, he said he won't release my emails. And he knows what Eliana put up with for years, allegedly. Yes, Eliana put up with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love. That's what Eliana put up with, was my love. Am I a perv? Yeah, I'm a perv, but at least I have the respect to keep my perversity in private with people that want to share in my perversity. Or in the case of Hatman, a very weird older gentleman that is pretending to be a 21-year-old girl, pretending to be somebody that wants to share in my perversity.
Now, Mr. Clark has brought up a very startling accusation. He stated that your daughter is actually someone named Hatman, and this couldn't be true, could it?
Could it?
Could it be true? That's a very interesting theory.
Strange, yes, very strange. The other thing I would like to point out is somebody pointed out that Hatman is a devil worshiper and Galina was a devil worshiper.
Is Galina a devil worshiper, sir?
No.
I would not think that devil worship was popular in your country.
Talimite is not a devil worshiper. So that's, Hatman might have thought that, maybe, but he's wrong. Talimite is not a devil worshiper. Plain and simple. My point is all this does is shows the disturbed and emotionally unstable nature of the people behind these psyops out of boredom. That's what these are. These are psyops out of boredom. Why am I being targeted? At this point, I think it's just because people are bored and they think they can get a rise out of me. And they can get a rise out of me. But you know what? Not anymore. I will go to Argentina. And you know what? I have given up on white chicks. I'm done with white chicks. Galina was the last proof. White chicks are fake. Literally.
As I apologize for that rude comment that he has just made towards your daughter, sir. That is uncalled for.
If you're with a white chick, it might be an aged Englishman pretending to be a Russian girl online. I'm sticking with those mestizas. Eliana's a real womans. She is a real womans. Eliana, real women's. Real women's. But yeah, it's not going to be Eliana. I'll get me a nice mestiza down there in Argentina. A nice, soft mestiza with caramel-colored skin. Argentina, Buenos Aires, churro, and other random Spanish words. Taco, taco, taco.
I am stunned. I am at a loss, sir, that he would just start rambling on such crude words like that. So, that I'm finding there's other videos that he's leaving, and I think we have time for maybe one or two more. And let's go ahead and open this new video.
Look, Galina, I'm glad that you communicated with me. The reason I'm making this video public is you deserve a public apology for me yelling the way I did, okay? I think what you need to understand is my thoughts and my feelings matter as much as yours do, and that you need to understand, and we'll talk about this more in private, of course. I don't want to give too much away publicly, because this is just an apology, and I want you to understand that I'm apologizing for the way I spoke to you publicly, and that was wrong. Okay, that was very wrong of me. But what you need to understand is that my thoughts and my feelings matter just as much as yours and just as much as your father's if you're going to be in a relationship with me. If you're going to marry me like you want to marry me. Okay? I do love you. I love you very much. I know you're real. Okay? I just want to be able to trust you with my head as well as my heart. I trust you with my heart. I want to trust you with my head too, okay? And I think that the more you try to understand, like if you really love me as much as you say you love me, you'd understand what I'm saying, okay? And you wouldn't have a problem with understanding it as much as it seems that you do. And I'm not pushing you away by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not pushing you away. What I want to do is I want to solidify a solid relationship built on true trust, absolute trust. You can trust me. I haven't lied to you. I've given you the information that you need to prove that I am a real person, right? I'm a real living, breathing person. I want the same. That's all I want, okay? And I just want you to understand, I do love you. I do care about you. I know you're a real girl. I know you're real. I know that these people are actually fucking with you. But what I want is I want you to prove to me that I can trust you as much as you can trust me. You can trust me. I'm sorry that I lost my temper. You have to understand, though. You're telling me about how these trolls are messing with you and how they're bothering you and all this crap and how they're stressing out your dad and all this. Well, you know...
Are you stressed out right now, sir?
It is not worth it.
Good point. He is not worth it.
I can only do so much. To a certain extent, you have to deal with it. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. It's not my fault. Your father probably blames me for everything because he doesn't understand anything and doesn't understand that these people can find people. And he probably blames me for everything because you reached out to me. But that's not the case. The case is that we love each other. And we love each other very much. And you need to understand that if we love each other, we have to start building a mutual trust with one another. A solid trust, a trust that we both can believe in with our hearts and with our heads, not just with our hearts. You have my full trust with my heart. I just want to be able to trust you with my head. You have to understand, the reason I'm having trouble trusting you is it seems like you don't trust me. You don't trust me enough to know who you are. Well, if you don't trust me enough to know who you are, how can I fully trust you with my head? I can trust you with my heart. I love you. I want to be with you for eternity. That's the truth. That's the truth. But what I need to know is I need to know that you're who you are. I need to know that for myself. Not for the public, but for me. You know, everybody telling me you're fake, you're fake, you're fake, you're fake. Obviously, they're idiots, because their example of the fact that you're fake is that I said I love you twice, and they are constantly harassing you and your father, so they know you're real. But what I need to know from you is that you're who you say you are, and the girl that I'm going to be greeting at the airport is you. And that's all I want to know. And I don't see why it's so outrageous. I don't see what's so crazy about that, okay? I don't see what's up with that. I mean, I love you, and I just want you to understand that my thoughts and my feelings and my reservations, they matter just as much as anybody else's in this relationship. They certainly should matter more than your father's if you're having a relationship with me. So I understand that you love your father. I understand that you respect your father, but you have to understand I'm not in a relationship with your father. You're not in a relationship with your father. We're in a relationship with one another. So if we're in a relationship with one another, we need to look out for one another and be able to trust one another. Your father, okay, you love your father, you respect your father, okay, but your father is not included in our relationship. You know, he wants to make fun of me for being a polygamist. What the hell's going on here?
And is he correct? Did you make fun of him for being a polygamist?
You would have to be married first.
Ah, very good point, sir. Yes, he would. He would have to be married first to be a polygamist.
So, my point is that if you want me to trust you, you have to trust me and prove to me that you're who you say you are. I love you so much, Galina. I love you a lot.
And we have time for one more video here, and we're going to go ahead and get right into this.
Someone had asked me to make a video on what it was like being raised as a Nazi Satanist. Okay?
And certainly I remember from studying history of World War II that Nazis are not welcome in your country as well as they were not welcome in our country.
They tried to stay. We burned fields.
It's not what people think it was. It's actually a lot more normal, I think, than people might think it is. One thing that you have to take into consideration is National Socialism, American National Socialism, and Satanism are two separate things. So it's not a monolithic thing. So you can be a Satanist and a National Socialist, or you can be a Satanist and be a communist, or you can be a Satanist and be a Democrat, or you can be a Satanist and be a libertarian, or you can be a Satanist and be whatever. So Satanism and National Socialism are not monolithic. There are instances or branches of Satanism that are very intertwined with National Socialism and vice versa. But what I mean by being raised as a Nazi Satanist is I was raised as a Satanist, and my father was a National Socialist. So I was raised, and I want to make this clear too, I was not solely influenced by my father. But this is the issue. Basically what Satanism is, how you're raised as a Satanist. Most of, at least how, and I'm going to leave a link to an excellent article from the Church of Satan by Blanche Barton, who is Anton LaVey's last lover and mother to his son, Satan Xerxes Karnaki LaVey. She does an excellent article on homeschooling and the importance of how to properly educate satanic children. And what you have to understand is a lot of what's stressed in Satanism and satanic parenting is the primacy of the individual, the primacy of free will, the primacy of the will to power. When you're raised by someone with a father like mine who wasn't quite all there upstairs, you're also raised to acknowledge the reality of might is right. Okay, I was raised by my father literally as Rocknar Redbeard would have raised his kids, which led to me getting thrown out of school in the 3rd grade and being put into schools for juvenile delinquents for seriously injuring people. And the reason why, including a teacher, and the reason why was because I was raised that if somebody pushes you, you break their jaw. And I am not at all promoting this type of ideology or this lifestyle. This is the wrong way to view things. It ruined my educational career. It ruined my life. Okay? We do not live in the jungle, unfortunately. Okay? So the way I was raised is if somebody shoves you, you make sure they don't shove anybody ever again. If somebody touches you and you don't want to be touched, you break every finger on their hand. You do what it says in Might is Right. Okay? Now, this is not the way other children of Satanists were raised, I don't believe. A lot of Satanists are actually pretty hippy-dippy people. My father was not very hippy-dippy. Okay? Now, where does the National Socialism come in? Essentially, what I was raised as is you don't trust nobody. Okay? You don't trust nobody. Cop comes up to you, you don't say anything without your parents present. That's what I was told. If a cop asks you anything, you don't talk to the police. You don't go to the police for help. You don't go to anybody for help. You figure it out yourself. Okay? So that was how we dealt with authority figures in my household. Okay? So, and I don't think that's the appropriate way to raise a child necessarily. 100%. I do think that if a cop's questioning your kid, the kid should know, get your parents present. And my father was very adamant on the fact that you want your parents present. You don't want a lawyer present, you want your parents present. Because the lawyer might not have your best interests in mind, which I found out later in life. Okay? So, yeah, my dad was right about that. You want your parents present, you don't want a lawyer present. But I haven't had parents in my life since I was a teenager, so... So my point is he was right about that. Some of the things a lot of things he was very right about, but the environment we live in is not one in which it is conducive to a might is right outlook. Now, luckily, my father was not the only influence on me. His father was an Episcopal minister who played a very important factor. He was a very important factor in my life. Okay, prior to him being an Episcopal minister, he was a Mormon. He grew up in the Reformed Latter-day Saints movement, and he was the grandson of Philander Page and the great-grandson of Hiram Page. People might know who they are, they might not know who they are. It doesn't really matter to me. My point is that my grandfather was a very moral person that saw himself as a person that was, he followed God's calling, in his opinion. And it is sad. I remember it actually somewhat humorous because I wrote a very nasty letter to the head of the Episcopal Church in New York City. In case people don't know, the Episcopal Church was created out of the Anglican Church in the United States of America because the Constitutional Congress banned the Anglican religion because the Anglican religion was loyal to the King of England, and we didn't want that in this country. So the Episcopal Church was formed out of the Anglican faith, and we have our own, or not we, I'm not a member of it, but my grandfather eventually did drop out of the Episcopal faith because they appointed an alcoholic priest, And after the alcoholic priest, they appointed a homosexual priest to his church, and he dropped out and quit going, basically. Essentially, what I wrote to the Episcopal Church is my grandfather would be very disgusted if he knew that the Episcopal Church that used to be dedicated to the teachings of Christ and upholding mainline Protestantism and the primacy of the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, the primacy of white Anglo-Saxon Protestantism in this country had succumbed to essentially a mishmash of nonsense and promoting homosexuality and all sorts of communism and things of that nature. And I said he wouldn't be very happy. Now, after I wrote this letter and I sent this letter, I found out that the person that ran the Episcopal Church in the United States happened to be a homosexual, of all things. So I guess that letter didn't get exactly the best reception when it was received by them. A lot of people have played an important role in my life, but I think one of the most important things to remember is when you are raised as a Satanist, as a child, Satanism is not like Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism or Islam or any of these things. Satanists are not supposed to indoctrinate their kids. You understand what I'm saying? So I was raised to understand the primacy of me, my importance to me. Okay? My importance. Not other people's importance, my importance. So I was raised to understand that I am an important person, if to no one else, to myself. I was raised to understand that if I have a problem, I need to figure out a way out of it. I was raised to understand that, the strong dominate the weak. And that's a fact of life, that the strong dominate the weak. And if you don't want to be dominated, you must be stronger than those around you. You must be more ferocious, you must be more aggressive, and you must be more powerful. By all means, you must be more powerful, more ferocious, more aggressive. To that end, you could say that is where I was raised as a Satanist. Other than that, I was not really indoctrinated with Satanism. You can't really indoctrinate somebody with Satanism. Anybody that reads Anton LaVey's books knows that you either believe it or you don't believe it. Now, I was given free access to Anton LaVey. Well, really, my dad didn't have most of his books. He had the Satanic Bible and what at the time was called the Complete Witch, which later was changed to the Satanic Witch. And I read those books. That's all he had. Later, after he had passed away, that's when I had purchased others of LaVey's books, like the Satanic Rituals, Satan Speaks, Speak of the Devil, or I think that Speak of the Devil is one of them. And I think that's a biography of his that I owned. But I purchased all of LaVey's books eventually and read all of LaVey's books and some books about LaVey. And yeah, that's where that took off. But I really was not a Satanist. I considered myself more of a Telemite until I was in my early 20s. So when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 10 years of my life, I considered myself more of a Telemite, Crowleyan, than I was a Satanist. What got me to embrace Satanism, and to be honest, I was only really a Satanist for about 5 years. At the age of 25, I gave up Satanism for scientific pantheism, actually cosmotheism at the time. And that was when I embraced cosmotheism, because I thought cosmotheism was a more realistic outlook on life. And I still do think it's a more realistic outlook on life. And what I would encourage people that think they're Satanists, even active members of the Church of Satan and active members of other satanic organizations, what I would encourage them to do is read Dr. William Luther Pierce's ideas on cosmotheism, read Clausen's ideas on creativity, and see where they fall with your outlook on life compared to LaVey's outlook on life. Maybe you can save yourself from some delusion, is what I would say. I would not say that I'm against Satanism. I think Satanism is a necessary thing in this world. But I would say it's not for me, and I don't think it's for a lot of people to consider themselves Satanists, and I think that they should. Now, me, I'm not a cosmotheist right now either. I am basically a pantheist. I am a scientific pantheist, non-denominational scientific pantheist. I have very strongly considered writing down my own religion and showing people what my religion would look like and what it would look like to follow my religion. But in the same sense, I don't really see my religion, my personal religion, applying to anybody but me. But my personal religion incorporates elements of course, scientific pantheism, which is what it is, but also incorporates aspects of Seventh-day Adventism, like the health laws, biologic living, again, the health laws of scientific pantheism, the health laws of Seventh-day Adventism, things like that. But ultimately, what I want to point out here, and as far as being raised a Nazi, when I was raised a Nazi, basically what I was told is don't trust the police. Don't trust the police and don't trust another living soul, basically, because they're all out to get you. But why are they out to get you? And that's not exactly an inaccurate truth either, if you really want to look at it. So, but the thing is, the world that we live in is not a world where you can be honest about these things. Okay? But if you look at the things like critical race theory, in the 1990s, when I was actively participating, and when I was a child, when I was actively participating in rallies and things like that, what we warned them was Antifa. When Antifa would attack us, we reported that we were attacked by Antifa at a diner, me and a bunch of friends of mine, and we were. And the police told us, and this is not a joke, quoting the cops, said we were trying to cause a red scare. A red scare, trying to make people afraid of a pretend imaginary communist threat that didn't exist. Well, it existed, and it exists right now, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Now, what we would say at some of these rallies and amongst ourselves, and to any Republican that would listen, is first they're going to come for us. They're going to shut us up. They're going to shut up the National Socialists, the third positionists. Okay? Then they're going to shut up the conservatives. Then they're going after the police. They're going to come after the police, right? Then they're going to go after the government itself. They're going to attack the government. They're going to attack the federal courthouses and attack the federal government. Look at the Black Lives Matter rallies. Look at the Black Lives Matter rallies. Look at what Antifa and Black Lives Matter have done by attacking the federal courthouses. It seems very prophetic to me, but it's not prophetic. It's by following what we saw happen in Germany, in Italy, and most of all in Spain. So we know what's going to happen because history is cyclical in this way. And the problem is the stupidest people are the Americans. They allow these people to hide behind the First Amendment while using the First Amendment to silence people like me. Now, I don't even have these beliefs. I have been liberated from my racist views. I am no longer a racist. Not like I was. I believe in the cosmic race. I believe in La Raza Cosmica, as expressed by Jose Vasconcelos. I'm not making that up. I am post-racial. People like to assume that I have certain thoughts on race, and I do have certain thoughts about the biological reality of it, which is undeniably true. Okay? But that doesn't mean some of the things that some of these racists like to attach to it. Okay? And I've been attacked by racists as much as I've been attacked by anti-racists. Dig? So I'm not in either camp with this. You know whose camp I am? There was a quote by Charles Manson. Nicholas Schreck asked Charles Manson what he thought about race. And Charles Manson pointed to his dick. And he said, you know what this is? This is my race. This is my race right here. It comes out of my dickhead. Charles Manson was right, man. You need to worry about you. Screw all this race bullshit and all this political bullshit. It's necessary to an extent. It is. But it's not the end-all, be-all. I wasted basically my whole life up until this point worrying about white people that don't worry about themselves. If every white person worried about themselves, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in, would we? If every white person embraced Satanism, not Jebus, not Christianity, not Wicca, not Asatru, not any of this bullshit, but LaVeyan Satanism, actual LaVeyan Satanism, as from Anton LaVey. If every white American embraced LaVeyan Satanism, we would not be having the problem we're having today, would we? No, we wouldn't. The reason we have the problem we have today is no white person puts the primacy of themselves, of their families, and of their communities first. They don't. They put the primacy of the holy dollar first. And that's the problem. And white people are not worth my time, my energy, or anything else. The only thing that is worth my time is my future wife, who I hope is still my future wife, and my future children, my future offspring. I've wasted enough time caring about useless, ignorant people that think they're worthy of my time, because they're not. And that's the truth. So my point is that people like to make these judgment calls about how Satanism is incongruent with National Socialism, or National Socialism is incongruent with Satanism, or all this other crap. American National Socialism is very congruent with LaVeyan Satanism. And really what the West needs now is not a revival by politics. It needs a revival by religion, a revival of morality, a revival of theology, and not this weak-ass Christian bullshit, none of this weak-ass pagan bullshit. What it needs is scientific pantheism, and it needs to embrace some of the values of Satanism. And I will leave what those values are in the description. And that's all for this video.
These are very, very enlightening videos, and I think we should go ahead and wrap this up. And Galina's father, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your evening to watch these videos with us. And do you have any final thoughts that you want to say to James Robert Clark III?
He does not take his own advice.
He does not take his own advice, indeed. Well, Galina's father, I want to thank you very much for appearing on our show tonight, and I hope that we will talk again soon, and I look forward to that. And to everyone out there, please throw a like on this video, and we will see you soon. And thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.
Das wird